guys, and welcome back to the video. So today I'm going to be decorating this house that Chanz built, and we did it for a collab. So right now she is decorating the house that I built. So I'm just having a little look around here, kind of figuring out what I'm going to do with everything. I decided to start with the kitchen. It ended up being quite a small one in the end, just because I was trying to fit two things in that one room and it looked a lot bigger when there was nothing in it. But I did manage to get it in, and I think it looked quite nice. I had a lot of trouble trying to figure out like what colours went with what and where I should put everything, but I decided on sort of black fridge, freezer and cooker in the end to match with the countertops. Then I was just trying to figure out like how I should close it off, or if I should close it off. So I did do that, like the closing off, and just left like a little opening, so it's kind of like a room of its own. And then I tried to sort some walls out that will go with it, and obviously to find a separate wall for the rest of like the room. If you can hear any like construction-y noises, there is some people working next door. Literally sounds like the room next to me. So I apologise for any banging. But yeah, I was decorating countertops and I was trying to find something that would fit in that little space in the corner so it wasn't taking up too much counter space elsewhere. These just did not fit because one, because of all the windows, and two, because they were low windows. I was trying to find a blind, but I kind of gave up eventually because nothing really worked. It all looked really tacky that would actually fit there. So yeah, that one was just too long. Otherwise I would have probably gone for the red one there. So I gave up on the blinds and remembered I needed to put a sink in, and then I added a few lights. And what was I doing next? Oh yeah, I was trying to make the oh dear, that's a nasty cough. I have an invader in my room with me. I was trying to make this kind of like a little bar area, like a breakfast bar, but then it left me with like no room in what I'd set out to be the dining area. So I moved everything in a little bit so the kitchen got a little bit smaller, and I think it's still fine, like it's still very functional and there's plenty of space. It was a little bit tedious having to make it a tiny bit smaller because I wasn't moving all the counters and everything in, but it doesn't take too much work, so it wasn't a massive deal. Then I was trying to find some chairs that match with the table and sort of still look nice in the room, and adding some like light and decoration and stuff just to make sure that it wasn't too dark. So yeah, if you do want to check out Chantel's video, which should be her decorating the house I built, or my video of building that house, or her video of building this house, then I will make sure all the links are in the description below. We should be uploading about the same time. So I was at this point decorating the living room. I couldn't really settle on a colour scheme for it, so it kind of ended up looking a bit like the colours of the room didn't really match the walls, but it kind of worked. I did want to change these stairs, but obviously the stairs themselves had already been put down, so I couldn't change the colour of them or anything for some reason. I'm not sure if that's just the kind of stairs they are. This one I had trouble with. I think I rearranged this 2 or 3 times trying to figure out like how to get this cute little corner sofa to work and have the right positioning stuff, and I think I left it like that for quite a while, and then I do go back and I change the sofa entirely a bit later on because I just couldn't get all the spacing to work with the lights and the plants and stuff. I was trying to make it vaguely symmetrical. I really didn't like that one light in the window, but it kind of just worked better there. So I can't remember if I did end up putting it there or not. I've literally just done this, so I should know. And yeah, so go and check that out. I will stick here. I'm just trying to put move objects in, and I could not for the life of me remember how to type it out. But yeah, this is me trying to sort the lounge out. I will add in a link to Shanz's channel like on the screen here for you guys to go and check out. So obviously I've put the cheat in now, and I couldn't figure out how to put the sofas because I kind of liked them like they were a second ago, or like they are not there, but like the one how I had them like all separate, but it covered the entire floor space, so there was no way that a sim could get past. So I decided to go with this sofa instead, and just like an armchair in sort of creamy brown colours, which, like I said, they don't necessarily go great with the walls, but I think that like it kind of works, just makes it look more like an actual home than some kind of show home because all the walls match perfectly. Okay, so I was trying to build like a study area here, and I couldn't figure out which bookcase or which desk to use and which way around to put them. But I got there eventually, and I found the chair that went with it all really quick. Then I just couldn't decide on a computer because I didn't want it to look tiny, because obviously it's quite a posh house, so they'd have a big computer, and then it was like, but all the big ones look really like tacky. I settled on one eventually though, and that was me just trying to sort of figure out how to make that thing smaller, which you can't. It's the smallest it can be, but I liked it how it was. So like with all the colours, because it lights up as well. It's like a little lamp, I think, but like looks like flowers. Okay, then I needed to figure out what to do with the conservatory, because it was this big empty space, and I would have put the dining room there, but I wanted it attached to the kitchen, and I didn't want the lounge like on the other side because the shape of the room is kind of weird. So I've decided to make it like sort of a creativity and games room, so I just put the pool table in the middle, and I add a bit of other stuff later, but I wanted to put some wall art in the living room to make it feel more like lived in. And I really liked some of these, but they just wouldn't fit on the walls right. Like, I'm trying to see if one will fit there, and then I really wanted to put that breakfast one in the kitchen or dining area, but again it wouldn't fit because there's lots and lots of windows, and yeah, so I changed that to the sort of wood panelling one on the stairs because it wouldn't let me have it the same colour as the rest of the walls on one side and then a different colour on the other side. It has to be the same both sides of the stairs, so that's why that's a different colour to the rest of the room. You'll see in the pictures later. So I'm adding stuff in. I wanted like a white easel because I wanted to keep everything really bright in this room because it's a conservatory and there's lots of natural light coming in, and then obviously I had the rug in the middle just as the one sort of focal dark point in the room. Okay, so I got upstairs and realised that there was literally no way that that landing was accessible. So what I did was I moved a sim in to double check, like make sure like there was no possible way that she could be moving around upstairs and get to all the doors. So as you can see, I take her upstairs, and when I eventually remember to unpause, she can't get to the room. So I was a little bit naughty and I moved that wall in just so that it was actually possible to move around. Then because she's living there, I then needed to make sure she had enough money to continue building, so I mother loaded a few times, which is what you just saw a minute ago. And now I'm starting on the master bedroom. I was just trying out all different sizes and stuff of things, and I squeezed that little mirror in the awkward corner there because I didn't want to move another wall, and I couldn't really figure out what to do with that corner if I didn't put like the mirror just squidged in there. So I was trying to find a good rug because that one looked really tacky when it was all big, and then this one was the wrong colour. So I changed the colour and I was like, should probably have some carpet in here to sort of provide a comparison. And then I'm trying to find some walls that aren't horrible. I don't actually remember, I think I put lights in here. Okay, so I really liked that wall colour, but not for the colour scheme I was going for in the room, which is again similar to the lounge, sort of whites and browns. And then, yeah, I found this other wall, but I used the blue and white wall in the second bedroom. Then I was trying to find, because there's this massive wall with no windows on it, I was like, what am I going to put on this wall? And that just looked too big, and then this didn't really fit here behind the bed, so I put it on the wall next to the door. But I still had this problem of this ginormous wall with absolutely nothing on it. So I decided to go for these little, there's like 9 small pictures, and I couldn't decide what colour to go, so I went in the middle with the sort of darker blue. And you can't actually tell because there's no light at the top of the room, so the shadows make it all look a different colour. So that's why I added those lights in there, and I was like, oh, I should probably add some light to the rest of the room. And then I just thought that one made it look gorgeous. Then I was trying to find something to put behind the bed, and I was like, these curtains. But then I couldn't decide which curtains, and I couldn't like get used to how brown the kind of white one was, so I managed to settle on that one in the end, but I wasn't 100% thrilled with it. And I was like, there needs to be something underneath this mirror, because it was just like this mirror and all this floor space, and it kind of just felt like a bit too empty. So I was thinking like wall plants maybe, and then I was like, okay, we'll just put some plants in and make them nice and big so they stand out. Maybe have a desk there. And then I don't think I went with a desk. I ended up going like, I just put a little sofa in, so like if they don't want to be led on the bed, they can just chill on the sofa. I moved everything up a little bit so it was a bit more even, and then put another plant on the other side of the sofa, which I think it looks really, really cute. And I realised I needed to edit this room, and I wanted it to be kind of like a fancy girls' room. They're all girls' rooms, to be honest, but like if there were a boy, I'm sure that some of them would be fairly easy to change. This one, it's kind of more like girly, but not to the point where a boy wouldn't stay in it. It just need to be slightly less floral. So I think that last one that was just on, I ended up going with. I just scrolled through a few other ones first, trying to find something that would cover all 3 windows nicely, and there just wasn't. And I didn't want to cover them all individually like the 2 at the side. So yeah, I ended up going for that one and matching it to the 2 at the side, and then putting some little plants in, but I made them not so little anymore, because I thought it was like a really bold, nice thing to have these flowers. And then I put the light straight over the bed, kind of like, it reminds me of like what you'd imagine the inside of a genie lamp to look like, because of the light and the flowers. So I thought the rug would be nice. I think I ended up changing it like position wise a few times when I put all the other furniture in, just because I wanted to make sure that it looked good and like symmetrical. I didn't want like half of a rug and then like the rug stops, and then like you can see behind it continuing like a wardrobe. I've said like way too many times. So yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to match it up so it looks even. Basically, short version of what I was trying to say. Then I put the desk in now, but I swapped the desk and the wardrobe around afterwards, or the chest of drawers or whatever, because I put a light in and then like a table lamp on top of one of them, and I just wanted to swap it around because it all looked a bit like too close, the two lights together, and they match. So I made sure all of these rooms were really bright and just completely fit the colour scheme. So yeah, you can see there I've decided to swap it round. I wanted to see if that fish tank looked any good big, but it really didn't. So that's that room finished, I think. I think I left it like that. And then I wanted to find a couple of things to put on the desk to make it look like it was actually being used and not just this random bit of furniture left in the room. And then I was like, oh, wall art, I need wall art, and that turned out huge. And I couldn't decide between the colours of these because they all sort of had the bluey tones in that I liked. I ended up going for them, and I have something kind of similar to that, or I had, I think it's gone now, in my actual house, those wall canvas thingies. Now this one, I thought the design of it, say looking from the outside, is really cool, but trying to figure out what to do with it took me a little while, because yeah, as you can see, I ended up making it room for two people, so like a child and a baby. And then I wanted to decorate the walls a bit, and I realised now that I didn't really decorate the baby side of the room all that much, but I decorated this side just as you come into the room. I went for purple and green as my scheme for this one. It took me a little while to get there, and I was trying to look for some sort of kid-friendly walls that still showed up the bunny rabbits down at the bottom. I ended up going for those floral ones with the little blue bit like around the bottom of them, which is why I went for the blue carpet. So this one, while I was decorating the outside of the house, I realised that I ended up putting like a house there. Yeah, I'm swapping it over now, and then you can kind of see the side of it poking out of the house, but I don't think it shows in any of the pictures. So I was trying to find stuff to decorate and brighten up the walls a bit, and I really couldn't find anything that I would put in a kid's room apart from this one lamp, and I was like, yeah, this matches with the colour scheme, it'll work. And I was like, they need something to do other than play in a doll's house. Like if one of them was a boy or something, I don't know why a boy would be staying in a room like that. But yeah. So it's kind of like unisex, but a lot more leaning toward the girl side, which is again the same as the blue room. Then I was like, this landing is really plain, I don't want to leave it like that. So I tried a few different floors. I wanted to go for like a wooden floor kind of thing, and then something nice on the walls. And as you can see there, I found the kids' wallpapers and I kind of tried them out, but I didn't like any of them as much as the floral one. Then I wanted somewhere just to sit for up here and for it to look nice. I was trying to figure out if they look better forwards or backwards. I think I decided on slightly forwards in the end. You'll see in a minute when it's done. And I realised there needed to be some, like a banister or something in here, so like realistically if it was an actual house, nobody would fall down the stairs. And then obviously added some lighting in, and then went to decorate the walls in here, and I really liked this, but just the, I think I liked it big, but the actual mirror bit of it stayed small when I expanded the rest of it, so it was the problem. And it looks a bit that small anyway. So I added this in because I just think it's really relaxing, and it goes with the blue again. I really liked using blue in this house, it kind of just worked. And it was sort of blue and brown. So brown throughout the house and blue are both quite prominent colours, and like the peachy colours as well. Not peachy, like beige, whatever you call it. So I was just covering the walls so that it didn't look too plain and boring. And I changed the colour of that to match all the other browns that I was using, because I think it was darker before, and then I made it a teeny tiny bit lighter so it all matched. And then I was trying to find something to put on the table because it just... Okay, this plant was flying for ages and I couldn't figure out how to get it on the floor. So I had to literally like put it away and get rid of it. I wanted there to be lots of like plants in the house just because they're really good in like real life houses and they just look nice and pretty. Okay, so now I was kind of like feeling a bit like, oh, I've decorated the rest of the house and I still have to do outside. So I wanted to cheat a little tiny bit. But I decided not to in the end. I still kind of more or less did. See, I got rid of it. But then I just used that design and kind of added my own layout, because I didn't want to actually affect the walls, and obviously as you can see they're turned in, so it's kind of like rounded, and I didn't want to get rid of that because that's against the rules for one thing, and I wanted it to still be my own design even if it was based off of this. So I really didn't like those mirrors, and it wasn't just the lighting, it was just something about them. They didn't float my boat, so I went for that round one instead and decided to put sort of stuff either side of it, so it was just the one mirror. That's because I feel like, even though there's probably going to be 4 people in this house, maybe 5, then, you know, they're not all going to be using mirrors at the same time, and some of them have mirrors in their rooms. So this was just me messing around with decorations for the room. I didn't want it to be all plain and empty and look like somewhere that wasn't actually a house. It was just kind of like, this is how you can lay your furniture out, but you don't have any stuff. Because people in houses have stuff, and even if you put it nicely, you don't hide it. It's just kind of there and you're stuck with it. So yeah, there was sort of my laundry area there and towels and all that. Just, you know, when you get in a bath you want somewhere to put your laundry and you want some towels. Okay, then I moved on to the outside of the house and I was trying to find a good wallpaper for the outside, but it all just looked really, really plain and I just couldn't decide on anything for ages, and like all of it just looked like I hadn't put anything on it, because the colours were all, they were plain like I wanted, but they were a bit too plain. So I looked at a few bolder colours, like more dark browns and stuff, but I couldn't get on with them, so I decided to go with something else instead and have the little band all the way around, which it still looks plain and simple, which is what I wanted, but you can actually tell that I've done something rather than just left it like blank walls. And then this is just because I did different on the top as to the bottom. I wanted a clear divider so you didn't think it was all just supposed to merge. I also realised that part of the rules were no putting any nature like trees and stuff outside, so I got rid of that one, which I feel like mean for taking it away when she's put it there, but rules are rules and it didn't fit in with what I wanted to do anyway. So I wanted to build a fountain and make a big fancy garden, but with it not being massive, like the actual outside space, it wasn't as big as I thought it was, and I needed the fountain to be bigger to have all of these little things in without them just spraying over the edge. So I'm about to make it a lot bigger. And then I just made the whole garden was just like a fountain kind of area, and somewhere nice to sit around the fountain, as opposed to like a swing set and space to run around and stuff like that. I thought it was nicer, and like realistically, trying to keep it real, it's easier to keep clean. Like say if you were really living there, it's a lot easier to, you know, make sure your fountain stays clear than to like be mowing the lawn and keeping up maintenance on a swing set and stuff like that. But I did add some kind of like nicer things, so it wasn't just kind of an area to sit, but I made it more like what you would expect at a communal garden kind of place, like a park or something, rather than what you'd expect in someone's back garden. But some people have gardens like that, so I figured it wouldn't be a problem. It's nice and fancy, and I really liked it. Hopefully Shan's will too. I don't know if we're planning on filming our reactions to these. I will make sure to keep you guys posted and like obviously upload the video if we do film our reactions, but I don't think that we're going to be. Yeah, I really wanted to use that bunny, so I just kind of stuck it in next to the bin. I don't even know why I wanted to use it that much. Then I wanted somewhere outside, because obviously we have kids in the house. We built the kids' room, so I thought we'll give them a little set of monkey bars. I ended up moving them in the end. And then I thought it was very fancy, kind of like the entrance to a secret garden, say if you were coming in from the other side visiting or something. And I was trying to find something like nice and decorative, and I thought that was the wishing well, that you can actually put the coins in and make wishes. So I thought it would be nice to sort of go out from behind the fountain where that little archway thing is, and you could make a wish. But then I realised at the end while I was taking pictures, it's not actually a wishing well, it's just a normal well. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed about that, but it still looks nice. That was me realising that I'd messed up the fences around that area. So these are the pictures of the finished place. I think it looks completely stunning outside in the garden. I wanted to take a few pictures of it at night while it was lit up. So there's a little exit and bit to the well. And then I think we go inside now. This is the conservatory and the living room, which, see, it does look nice with all the things, and I kept plants like underneath the table as well. So there you've got the kitchen and the dining room. I think that wine glass picture just makes the room. And then this is the house from the front. And then upstairs in the blue room, I don't think I actually got a shot with the mirror in. And this is the kids' room with the purple and the green. And then the hallway, or the landing, I suppose. I really, really like that picture. Like, I would visit there. And then this is the bedroom. Again, the lighting is like really awesome. I love that light. And then this is the bathroom, which does kind of look a little bit dull, but it does have lights on and stuff, and it doesn't need to be the fanciest, brightest room in the house. So thank you for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and go and check out Shan's videos as well.